stories of transformation, self-help, education, and sometimes pure entertainment. Want to grow with us on this journey and support these up and coming authors? Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. I'm your host, Stephanie Outten, the literary doula. Are you ready for the show? Let's do this.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to StoryTime with Stephanie, Season 8. We are excited to be here, and no, I'm not Stephanie. This is Tammy. So I want to welcome you all to, again, Storytime Season 8. For a today is extra special because we are, like I said, we're kicking off Season 8 with none other than the heart, the vision, and the voice behind it all. And who might that be? That's Stephanie. So tonight we are actually interviewing, well, I'm going to be interviewing Stephanie Outten, founder of Cocoon to Wings Publishing and the creator of this podcast, Storytime with Stephanie. For 8 incredible seasons, Storytime with Stephanie has been the place where independent authors share their journeys, their passion, and the stories that the world needs to hear and should be reading. And today we're pulling back the curtain to learn more about this woman, this amazing woman. One of the only few people I let boss me around a little bit. The woman who started it all, why she became a publisher, what inspired her to podcast, and what she's dreaming for the future. All right. So grab your water, grab your wine, grab some popcorn, whatever you want to do, get comfortable, and join me as we dive in to a conversation with the powerhouse herself, Stephanie Outten. And before I bring her up, I know that was kind of like an intro, but I'm going to give you all, for those that may or may not know her, a little bit about Stephanie. So Stephanie Outten, as I mentioned, founder, chief publishing officer, and literary doula of Cocoon to Wings Publishing, is a certified life coach with a niche in transformational writing coaching, guiding existing and inspiring writers through convincing, nurturing, and birthing their literary babies. She is an independent publisher of fiction, nonfiction, self-help, and children's books. And she offers a variety of programs and services as a kingdom entrepreneur. She is the author of Is This the Way to Joy? And has also authored chapters in the Amazon best-selling anthology Soul Talk, as well as the hot-selling fiction anthology When I Kill Him, Jesus Can Have Him. Y'all should read that book. She is the creator and host of Storytime with Stephanie podcast and the She Speaks YouTube series. Her favorite quote is, "Girls with big dreams become women with vision." So everyone, you ain't gotta stand up, but let's welcome our girl Stephanie Outten to the stage.
Hello. I am here.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, I have to say it feels odd to be on this side. Especially with this being a new season, but I am excited to see what this is all about and have you interview me so I can relax for a minute.
Yes, but don't relax too much now. Don't relax too much.
Okay.
So I want to welcome you all. And please excuse me because I am typically in the background giving instructions and giving directions. So I just want to invite you all to have you all invite someone to share this out and have everybody come on over and tune into the conversation. Hey, Kimmy, thanks for joining. All right, so we're going to jump right in it and get started because I don't want to let the comments distract me because I know I can't do 2 things at once. Okay, Stephanie, you ready?
I'm ready.
I know Stephanie is like, oh my gosh, don't
As
worry. I'm not
ready
going to
as
be loud,
I can
child.
get.
This is going to be great. So we're going to start it off. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to hit this incredible milestone with Storytime with Stephanie with 8 seasons?
Well, you know what? It definitely is unexpected. I'll be honest. I did not know going into this show, what, 4.5, 5 years ago, that I would be here 8 seasons later. It definitely is something I'm grateful for. 8 is the number of new beginnings. And so this is an opportunity for us to be able to do something new with the show. And that's what I'm looking forward to in season 8, is doing something new. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Now, when you first launched Storytime with Stephanie, did you envisioning it reaching this far? And what were your hopes back then?
So when we first started, and for those of you who don't know, Tammy is the one that convinced me to do the show. So I had other people to prophetically speak into my life that they saw me on a platform like this, sharing about people's books. And Tammy was the one that was like, hey, like, you need to do it. So I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have to produce it, put it together, and you could be my first guest. And so season 1 was just that. We didn't really know what we were doing, but Tammy put her creativity hat on and we just did it. And I literally just cannot imagine, that we're here today with 8 seasons. Yeah, it's definitely confirmation. And so, okay, remind me of the questions. I'm used to asking the questions.
So the question was, did you envision it reaching Storytime with Stephanie reaching this far? And what were your hopes back then when you first started?
Okay, I just wanted people to watch it, right? But I really wanted to get people's stories out. I am clearly I'm a book publisher, a writing coach, and I'm passionate about people sharing their stories. And so I just really wanted this to be a place where independent authors, because I'm an independent author, I wanted a place where independent authors could really just share their stories, right? And be able to tell it from a truthful place, a safe place. I've been told that I'm a safe place to share stories. And so that's what I wanted to create. And we started out on Facebook, right? We were starting out on Facebook, going live on Facebook. I think a couple of seasons ago, we transitioned over to YouTube. So that was a switch. That was something new for us. And I didn't really know that we would go this far. I figured it would just be a few seasons and then I would stop. But I kept getting encouragement to keep going because the author's stories were so powerful and people still wanted to hear them. And so I was like, okay, as much as I wanted to step back and say, gosh, I need to take a break from the show. And I did. I've taken breaks here and there, but I was always convinced to come back. Tammy being my biggest convincer. But, I was always convinced to come back. And so now being able to share it, through the Facebook platform, through YouTube as well, has been an opportunity to really, a Curator's Cafe, a platform for others to share their pain to power stories. Right. And that's what it's been. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Now, let's rewind the clock a little bit. How did you go from author to publisher and then to podcast host? So walk us through that transformation.
Okay. Yeah, and this is a good question because it gives people an idea of what you can do with your book, beyond the book. Mm-hmm. So when I wrote the book, it actually was a 3-year journey for me to write the book. I started in 2013. I completed it in 2016. And I didn't really know too much about publishing, but I knew someone that, had a publishing company, had published many people. And I went to them and I said, hey, I'm finished with the book now. Would you publish? And they said, no. And they said, this is a journey you have to take on your own. And I was like, what? Wow. But, I was like, okay, all right. So I was like, I sat down and I was like, Lord, how do I do this? And so at the time, I thought that I had to start an entire publishing company in order to publish. I really didn't know about the whole self-publish, put it on Amazon. I didn't know about that stuff.
Right.
But I sat with the Lord. We came up with this whole Cocoon to Wings, which is a story in and of itself. But I created the whole publishing company, and I went to the team that helped me with my book cover, with my formatting, with my proofreading. And I said, hey, I'm starting this publishing company, and I need to know if y'all would be the team that helps me to help other people publish, right? And so that's how Cocoon to Wings Publishing was birthed, so that I could publish my own book, because I was like, I need to publish my own book. And then I was convinced by someone to publish their book. And that was a learning process, because I was like, Lord, I done made so many mistakes with my own book. But we learned through publishing someone else what to do. And so it's just been a continuous, effort and journey to continue to publish. And then, so that was 2017, I think, is when we published the first book, someone else's book. And then, we just continued to get referrals from there. Going to podcaster, I did not see that for myself. I was doing an audio podcast. I started out just doing writing tips and tricks and tools, sharing that in a audio podcast. And then this whole idea of StoryTime, God will throw you right in there, won't he? Yes, he threw me right in there. And because, like I said, I had two people prophetically speak into my life, that they saw me on a screen like this, and that I was interviewing authors, and I was having them share their story. And so when you get two prophetic people telling you that, you're like, whoa, I guess I got to do this thing. And so that's how I ended up here. Never expected it, but I'm grateful. I think in my past life, I wanted to be a news broadcaster. So this is a way for me to do it. Okay.
All right. I know that's right.
Yes.
The foundation was built.
The foundation was built. The plan was approved. Now she is building. Yeah, absolutely. The foundation was built. And I am, I'm just going to keep on going until the Lord says something different.
Yes. Because we ain't stopping.
That's what Tammy says, but hey.
Me and him, we locked in. We be consulting.
Me and him too.
Right. So the name, I'm sorry. Okay, so the name Cocoon to Wings is so powerful. What's the deeper meaning behind it?
So November of 2015, I was sitting on my couch, and like I get I get visions. I'm a very visual person, so I get visions, and I'm seeing it right now. I was sitting on my couch, and I was just crying out to the Lord, because my marriage was failing at that point. I had gone through some infertility challenges, had done IVF, and that did not work. And so I was sitting there and I was crying out to the Lord. I'm like, okay, here it is. I just feel like I am trying not to cry. Okay. I said, I just feel like I've been this butterfly, and I've just been trapped in this cocoon, and I'm ready to set my wings free. And this was my conversation with the Lord. And at that time, I literally felt like that. I was like, dang, I know I'm supposed to soar. I know I'm supposed to fly, but I feel trapped. I felt like I was just locked up in all this pain and the traumas of what I was walking through. And when I said, God, I feel like I'm just this butterfly that's just been trapped in the cocoon, ready to set my wings free, I heard it. I literally heard Cocoon to Wings Publishing. And I was like, ooh. So he spoke it into my spirit based on the words that I cried out to him. And that's how Cocoon to Wings Publishing was formed. That's
awesome. I love it. And that's one of the things we have in common. You like butterflies. I love butterflies also. So it's just like, when I first met you and saw, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually how a lot of people, for some reason, when they see books that we have published, they're drawn to our imprint, which is a butterfly. It's actually a book in the shape of a butterfly. And it's an open book in the shape of a butterfly. Shout out to Erica Thomas, who created that logo for us all those years ago. And she's our amazing graphic designer. And so that's how it came about. And we just been going ever since. People just love it. They see it. They're drawn to it. And they realize, like, it's literally like God called them to cocoon the wings
Mm-hmm.
because there was
Yeah.
something important about that butterfly for them to in the transformation.
Awesome. Awesome. So I know we talked about, the types of authors you work with and things
Mhm.
like that. But what is your mission when working with authors, right? And
Mhm.
how does your publishing model differ from traditional and vanity publishing companies?
Yeah, so we are faith-based. We predominantly work with faith-based authors. We are considered a hybrid publisher, and so it is a mix between self-publishing and traditional publishing. And so a lot of times you'll have hybrid publishers or vanity boutique, whatever. They're,
Mhm.
small press, but they have a lot of times it's like one person doing all of it themselves. Whereas I have an actual team of people that's doing the work to help the author get their book out into the marketplace. And so that's what we call it hybrid, because we use self-publishing types of platforms.
Mhm.
However, we do all the work for the author. So they could take their hands off of it. They write, we do everything else.
Mhm.
Just like a traditional publisher that has their entire team that will come in and literally take the book from manuscript to a published book. So that's what we're considered hybrid.
Gotcha.
And that model has really worked for us. So we just keep on going with it.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Now, we're going to get a little personal insight. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I told you I was keeping it. I was keeping it because I don't want certain people, you know.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
keeping
Look.
it cute. I'm keeping it
First of all,
cute.
I'll just say thanks to everybody who's joining live. Thank y'all for sharing it out so you can get other people in, because
Yes.
we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up for season 8. But
Yes.
yeah,
Not
Tammy is
you
like,
trying to take over the show that I'm hosting. I
I'm
got
sorry.
this.
Let me come out of host mode and let's just be the guest. Okay, I'm gonna sit back. Just be the guest.
She can't help it, y'all. She can't
It's
help
hard
it.
for me.
I know it is. I know.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
thank you for resetting the show for tonight. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So, who or what has been the biggest influence in shaping your work ethic and values?
Ooh. Um, my work ethic I learned from my mom. She is always an extremely hard worker. I mean, at one point she was working 3 jobs, and I did the same at one point. I was in college working 3 jobs. And so definitely she helped to shape my work ethic, but also my value system and who I am, not just in business, but who I am as a person. Um, so outside of the Lord, who I got to take all my direction from, and understand who I am from an identity perspective, my mom would be the person that shaped who I am,
Yeah.
and how I operate in life and in business.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how moms tend to, for a lot of people, always come up as that person that has been the one to,
Yeah.
influence, to shape, to help, listen, ain't nothing like a hardworking praying mama, okay?
You know it. You know it.
Baby, okay.
Yes.
So when you're not publishing books
Mhm.
or recording podcasts, what's your go-to way to relax and recharge?
I love look, I listen to books. Like, it's in my nature. I love reading. Um, I don't get a chance to physically read a lot of books anymore, so I listen
Right.
to them on Audible, because I can listen on the go. So listening to a book now is a pastime for me. It's a way for me to relax, but also watching TV. I'm a creative. I am a creative at heart. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
moms are the glue of it all. I am a creative at heart, and because I'm visual, I like to watch
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Gotcha.
watching TV is the way that I relax, is how I decompress. And I get a lot of revelation through watching TV and movies and listening to books.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
All
pretty
right.
boring. I mean, I don't have this like fabulous life. I don't
But
go
I
sip
mean, that's
martinis on the
fabulous
beach
for
all
you
day.
though.
It's
That life is
fabulous for me.
right. Exactly. Yeah, it's
Yes,
fabulous
it
for
is.
you, and that's fine. Okay. So, see, I told you I didn't get too crazy with the questions.
All right.
If you could have dinner with any author,
Mm.
past or present, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow. Dang. Um, there's a lot.
Just
There's a
one.
lot. Well, she's passed away now, but Rosalind McMillan, which is she was Terry McMillan's sister.
Hmm.
And I had a chance to meet her once at a book signing here in Tampa. And I was just like in awe of her process. She really broke down her process for how she wrote books. And
Mm-hmm.
I was so fascinated by it. And so I did get a chance to kind of talk with her a little bit after the book signing. But if I were to have that opportunity and she were still alive today, I would love to sit down and have lunch with her and just pick her brain, because for me, the way that she wrote fiction was very similar to how I write fiction and how I enjoy fiction. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Rosalind
Mm-hmm.
McMillan.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna have to look her up. I didn't know she had a sister that was an author.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
a
Okay.
fantastic author.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, moving right along. Hmm.
Oh Lord, the fact that she got a pause means that she got some serious questions to ask me.
Wait, no, 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 no.
I see
How
people
do
asking questions in the comments too. Okay, we're
hold
gonna get
on.
to those
We're gonna
questions.
get to your questions. Yes, we are gonna get to some of the questions. Not all, but we're gonna get to some of them. So we will definitely come back and answer some of those questions. All right. So y'all keep the questions coming. Don't worry, we're not ignoring you, but we will answer some of the questions in the comments. Okay.
Okay.
All right. How do you help an author go from a blank page to a
Hmm.
published book? What does that transformation look like?
Okay, so this goes for me beyond just being a writing coach. I consider myself a transformational writing coach, and I incorporate soul coaching practices into that. And so when somebody comes to me with that blank page and they say, "Oh my God, like I want to be able to write a book," the first thing that I do is I take them through a process to really uncover like what is in their soul. Like what are the things that what are their traumas, what are their joys, what are their pains, what have they walked through in life? Is there anything blocking them? What are some of the challenges that they've faced? What do they want to write about? Because one thing I tell people is nobody wants your whole life story. If you're not a celebrity, they don't want your whole life story.
They don't care.
And I'm just being honest, right? So
Right.
what are the key things and themes in your life that have occurred that literally can change the trajectory of somebody's life? And when we get to that place, then I take them through my signature process of being able to help them get their chapters created based on the themes that they want to be able to share. So it's very, very, let me put it this way. Everybody that has started with me from scratch or they came with a partial manuscript, they cry pretty much every time we meet. They fall apart.
Wait a
Yeah, they fall apart
Wait,
because
they
we're
cry.
doing the deep work. Yeah, they cry because we're doing the deep work. They cry, they laugh, they get stuck. I mean, it can be very painful sometimes, especially talking about your life, right?
Mhm.
It took me a long time to be able to talk about aspects of my life, things that I walked through without crying, right?
Right.
And so being able to help them through basically, yes, it's a purging process for sure. I know someone else said therapeutic. It's
Mhm.
absolutely therapeutic. Taking them through that process, it is like therapy. Honestly, I think I should have been a therapist at another point in my life because I spent a lot of time doing that. And I tap into the Holy Spirit, what the Holy Spirit is telling me about the person, about their life, about the things they walk through. And that's how we actually get from that blank page to a fully written book and through the publishing stages. But it's not just, I'm not a technique type of writing coach. I'm not really the person that says, okay, here's a structure. Now I can give you a structure, but for me, the structure starts with what is happening in your soul and how do we purge and cleanse all of that so that you can write the story from a free and healed place.
Awesome. So essentially, I'm not just I want to write a book, Stephanie. So here go my manuscript and we write the book. We ain't doing that.
No.
We going deeper than that.
Yeah. Not with me. Like, you're not going to do that.
Huh? I'm saying, right, with you, we pulling back the layers.
Yeah, we pull back a lot of layers.
Okay.
I do visualization with them too, because again, I am visual. So I do some visualization where I help them. I will literally take you back to a specific situation and you feel like you're there all over again.
Wow.
And it's necessary to do that because you have to be able to write from the place that you were in so that you can break through that in order to get to your healing, but also to explain to others how to get to their healing, right? And so that's one of the processes that I use to be able to help people to write. So it's not structured. I do have to wait. I do have to sit with my spirit. I do have to honor the person, right? And honor their journey to be able to help them write the book, because it's not just about, and I have a program called Write the Book Already, but it's not just about, okay, here are the steps and you write. It's what do you have to do within each stage to get you to write the book already.
Right.
So, yeah.
So listen, y'all, Stephanie just said, if y'all ain't ready to do the work, don't show up in her inbox to do the work, because you got to be willing to do the work.
Yeah, you do.
You got to be willing to do the work.
And I've had people abandon the process because it was just too hard. Wow. It's too hard to relive the past. It's too hard to, go back and dig up some of those painful memories. It's too hard to deal with their family. That's the biggest one, especially when you're telling things that happen in your family and people don't know how to address that. And so rather than we work through, they just abandon the process because they're like, it's too hard. And for me, if I could get through the hard parts of my story, you could do it. Trust me, you can do it. But people will abandon, and I respect it. I don't, I respect it. And if they come back, that's great. If they don't, it's okay. But I just want people to get free. That's it, and be healed from their stories.
That's awesome. Because everybody's not ready to do that kind of work. Like they want to write the book, but they're not ready to do that kind of work. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, and this is why you're the literary doula. But this is why you're the literary doula, because not everyone is going to take the time to make sure your heart is good, your soul, you know what I mean, your mind, and then write the book already. Like nobody's going to do that. It's just, you got a manuscript. Okay, let's write it, So
that's why there's a lot of that whole crank it out, like crank out the book, get your book done in 90 days. And I get it. And I do believe you can do that, right? You can get your book done in 90 days. Look, you could get your book done in one day. I've seen people do that as well, right? But are you fully getting the message across in the way that it's going to best impact people? Or are you just getting it done so you can put it on the shelf and start, making money from it? You have to think about what's most important to you. For me, your healing is most important. And if you never write the book, that's it doesn't matter. Because for me, it's about you getting to that healed place. So
true healing equals impact.
There you go. Oh, that's good.
Let me write
that down.
Yeah, write that down.
Write that down. Somebody put that in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
True healing equals impact. Yes, it does. Because when you are truly healed, and you can heal through telling your story, right? Because when I was writing my first book, I was not healed, and I was not healed. But by the time I wrote the book and I finished the book, I was therapizing myself. I did not have anybody. I was not going to anyone when I was writing that book because I was in a lot of pain, right? Yeah, there will never be any true fulfillment. I was in a lot of pain when I wrote my first book, but through writing, through praying, and through asking God to like help me get through this. I did write my first book as fiction because I was in such a painful place that I didn't want to tell the true story. My family didn't even know stuff that I had walked through. I had never told anybody. And so I wrote it as fiction. I'm seeing the comments. I wrote it as fiction because I needed to get the story out. But I was and still am a very avid fiction reader. So I'm like, if I am going to share my story, I have to write it as fiction because I know fiction. I know how to write it in that way. But I tell my story and parts of my story through these 4 fictional characters, right? And for me, I had to therapize myself in order to get to that healed place, right? Because I knew at the end of it, I was going to be free.
Right.
What I didn't realize is when I did put the book out into the marketplace, I had so many women that messaged me and it was crazy. I was crying every time I went into Facebook Messenger because I would have multiple messages every day of women who said, oh my God, I went through some of the same things. Wow. Oh my God, like I want to be able to tell my story. Oh my God, how did you do this? And that's when I was like, oh God, I think maybe I found my calling. But I didn't know if I had found my calling.
Right. True healing equals impact.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is definitely amazing. Thank you for that. That was good. That was good. So, what's a success story or moment that made you stop and say, this is why I do what I do?
Dang. I've had a lot of those.
You like these questions?
Yeah, these are very good questions. Okay, when we do our next season, y'all, we may hear some of these questions being asked off. Y'all know I go off the cuff. So these created questions, I'm like, they're good. I need to be thinking about some of these. But yeah, there's a lot of success stories. I would say one of the most recent, and I won't give any names, but I'm coaching someone who sent their final manuscript today. So if that person is listening, they know I'm talking about them. That person's journey of when they first came to me to where they are today literally makes me want to tear up. Because this person always felt like they had to be in the background. I always felt like they were never important, right? And I know how that feels, right? Where you feel like you got to stay in the background. You help push everybody else forward, but you stay in the back. And it's not until you have a person that says to you, nope, it's time for you to be thrust into the front. It's time for you to take center stage. And that's what happened with this particular client, giving this person an opportunity to take center stage because they always took the background in their life. And seeing this person now, like I said, from when we started to where we are today, I am amazed because it's a different person.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear who that is. I kind of got a feeling, but it's okay. All right.
Yeah, I won't say names.
So I guess I can ask you this. Okay. How do you choose the guests you interview and the stories you amplify?
Okay, well, yeah, Tammy finds a lot of the guests that we interview. Because in the beginning, I was interviewing a lot of Cocoon to Wings publishing authors. That's kind of what, how we started out. I'm like, I know these stories. I know these people. I want to be able to amplify their voice and get it out there. So we started out interviewing Cocoon to Wings publishing authors. I also had coached several women in another program, someone else's program. And I invited those ladies to be guests on the show as well. Because again, I coached them. I knew their stories were powerful. I wanted to get it out there. But now I take my hands all the way off. I don't look for authors at all. I gave that responsibility to Tammy as the show producer, and she goes out and finds them. She knows what I like. She knows what the audience likes. I'm very particular about the types of stories that, like, there has to be some transformation in there. I don't just like books just to like a book. Like, I need to see from the beginning to the end something happened that transformed somebody's life. And so, and I like fun stuff too. Like, we've had some fun stuff, but in there somewhere, there's some transformation. So I let Tammy find the authors. I trust her. It took a minute because we were like, what?
Wait, hold on. But let me tell y'all, the ones we were like, what? Those are not the ones that I picked. For the record.
Look, but we always had to consult each other together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So now I'm just like, forget it. I don't want to choose. I don't want to select. I let her present them to me. She presents multiple, and then we choose based on really reading the synopsis, trying to get an understanding of the person. We stalk them on social media because we need to see who they are.
Right.
Yep. And then we select them from there. But yes, I don't touch that part any longer. I just want to make sure that, like I said, the people who really focus on that healing and transformation component, those are the voices I like to amplify.
Yes. I love that. That is true. Because it'll be like, I'll be like sending her DMs. Hey, Steph, what do you think about, you like this one? You like this one? But I pretty much, since we've been doing it for so long, I pretty much know like how to gauge the authors and, things like that. So it's a difficult process, but it's not a difficult process.
Yeah.
And if you are an author, a published author, and you're listening, please DM me or Stephanie your information, because we would love to have you on.
Especially if you're a male, because we interview a lot of women on this show, but I know there's men out here who have powerful stories. Like, please, y'all, if you know of any male authors that have these amazing, powerful stories that people want to hear and people want to read, please send them our way.
Send them. Yes.
Because we want to interview some men.
Yes. Is there one past episode that still resonates with you, or that a listener may always talk about, or you may talk about amongst yourselves in the office with the team, whatever?
Yeah. Ooh, there's several of those. I'll say probably a couple of my favorites. One was Tracy Johnson. Hers was because we had her back twice, and we interviewed her on Instagram.
Yes.
So, it was great. Just being able to hear her story. Yeah, that one, a lot of people still talk about that.
Yeah.
And then one of my personal favorites, because I love the book so much, is probably the author Ty. We had one last season, Ty. Oh my God. That I loved talking about her process of writing riffs and refrains, because that is probably one of my favorite Black romance books, and it was amazing. So yeah, I would say Tracy Johnson and Ty.
Yes.
Now, okay, if you've been on my show, don't take that the wrong way. I feel like every show has been powerful. Those just stick out in my mind, because of some of the things that we talked about on the shows.
Right.
But yeah, those two.
Yes. I'm gonna share one of mine real quick.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorites that I still think about or talk about is Sonia.
Oh, yes.
Sonia.
Oh, geez, Sonia.
Yes.
Sonia.
If y'all don't know who we talking about, go back to
season 3 or 4. Sonia Dalton. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Y'all gotta go back and listen to that one.
Matter of fact, just go back and watch all the seasons because one, you'll see our progression. Because boy, we have progressed.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
We have progressed. When she's the one with
Tracy is the one. She had the box, and she did speak about her divorce. Yes.
Oh yeah. Tracy. Yes. Yep. She had the box, and
yes, yeah.
Lord, why? And it's right now. I literally see the name of the book, and I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden.
I can't think of it offhand.
It's gonna come to me.
And my phone is shut off. I turned it off.
I'm about to look. But yeah, Tracy Johnson. Oh, Lord. Y'all forgive me because I have to be able to say this title. Yes. Because her book was crazy. It was crazy, amazing.
Yes.
And the journey it took, because it took her 7 years to write her story. Dangerous Mistrust. That's what the book is. Dangerous Mistrust. Yeah. That book right there, I read that in 2 days. Yes. And it's a big book. And y'all, I don't like reading big books. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like it. I can't focus. It's just when your book is big, when that thing is like this big, I'm like,
you got to read all of this.
It's intimidating. However,
it can be.
This book, 2 days. I sat there and I just read and read and read. That story was so powerful. When we had Sonia Dalton on the show, now her book was smaller, but her story was so big and so rich.
Yes.
And full.
Even some of her behind the scene life stories that she shared. Yeah. It was just, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. And to see her today now.
Yes.
Like, girl, you what? Yeah.
Yes.
I got to read her book too.
Yes, because she's a multi. Yeah, she's a multi cancer survivor. She survived breast cancer like so many times. Yeah. And her story just to still be here today. And she is a trainer. She Total You is Total You Fitness. That's her business. She trains you in your mind, your body, and your soul. And so when y'all see me when I was working out like a bandit, that's because she was my trainer. But
and she's not a play trainer. She has celebrity clients as well. She ain't no play trainer.
She's a celebrity trainer. I mean, so I felt like, what? I'm a celebrity and she's training me. No. She trains the everyday regular folk like me. Yes. Okay. But yes, that was a powerful story. And if anybody who's watching, if y'all remember your favorite, just drop it in the comments because I would love to hear that too. And even when you watch on the replay, drop it in the comments because I would love to hear some of your favorites, your favorite episodes.
And so I have a few more questions, but I'm going to go back to some of the questions in the comments so you can start answering those and then we'll continue on. Okay. So one question was, what's one chapter of your journey, if you're able to, that you would rewrite?
Oh my God. Ooh, that Lord Jesus. I will say this, because I don't say this to offend. But if I had to rewrite a part of my life, I would have been much more cognizant of hearing God in regards to marriage. Because I think I would have just done some things differently. I cannot say that because I am divorced now, right? I've been divorced for like 9 years or something like that. But I would have not listened to myself. I would have listened to the Holy Spirit, and I would have done some things differently as it relates to that part of my life. So yeah, I would definitely say that would be the part that I would rewrite. But again, I don't regret getting married because I learned a lot of lessons about myself that I value to this day.
Awesome. Excuse me. And another question is, will a book be developed from the first 7 seasons?
Wow. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, tell me more. Like, meaning bringing all those authors together for like an anthology? Like, is that what you mean, Boz Family? I'm curious. Because,
That's interesting.
I've not been asked that before. So it's not been a thought. I'll just be honest, because I've never been asked that question before.
Mm-hmm.
I think because everybody's story is so significantly different, but yet so similar. Um, I've never thought to bring them all together, right? There are certain situations that people have talked about that I've thought about bringing together into some form of an anthology. I published anthologies. I just was not sure I wanted to go through the process of being a visionary for an anthology because it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, let me think on that. And if you want to clarify and share some more about it, let me know, because that'd be something I would definitely. I'd have to pray about it first and see what the Lord says, because He may say no, or He may say yes. And if He says yes, we're gonna let you know.
Okay. Now, moving forward.
Okay.
What can we expect in this brand new season? Any themes, topics, or guests that you're excited about? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, so I am so this season is different from past seasons.
Yes.
Past seasons, we have always done the show live. Tonight, we are live because tonight is the season premiere of season 8. The rest of season 8 is pre-recorded. It's the first time we have ever pre-recorded, just because there's a lot of scheduling stuff going on, a lot. And we were having a very challenging time to be able to get all the schedules in order to be able to do the show live on Mondays. And also personally, I just had a lot of stuff going on. And so I talked to Tammy and I was like, look, I feel like I need to pre-record this particular season. And just being honest, because I was burnt out. I was burnt out. I was feeling like I just could not keep going. And I wanted to end the show. I wanted to end because I was just overwhelmed with life and business, and I was exhausted. It's very difficult to be able to read so many stories, right? And read so many books, run a business, take care of my family, all the things I had going on. And I was like, God, Tammy, I just want to give up. I can't do this anymore. And she convinced me to keep going. And she was like, maybe we pre-record, and that's okay. There's a bunch of podcasts out there that are pre-recorded. And I didn't even think about that because I love the live feel. But she was like, you know what? We can pre-record. We put it out there. And when we can, we still, when it premieres, the episodes premiere, we can get in the comments, and we can chat with people who come to watch. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. So that's different. That's different.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Themes. We do touch on themes like marital rape, which, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's a sensitive topic that has to be addressed. We talk about major generational curses, stuff like that you just never would expect to happen in people's families. We talk about tragic health situations. Like one episode, I felt sick to my stomach as the author was sharing the story. But we also talk about the triumphs. We talk about the triumphs and all of those traumas and tragedies. And I love that. And I am so honored and grateful that these people came together and said yes when Tammy reached out and said, would you be a part of this show? And they said yes. And I just can't wait for you to hear each and every one of their stories, because they're just amazingly powerful people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny, really quick. One of the people that I emailed to invite to the show, they responded, they was like, Tammy, I thought this was for the wrong person.
Oh. They're like, somebody want to interview me?
They was like, somebody, me? Is this for me? And they went back and read it and was like, oh, that is my name. Yeah, that's your name. I love when I get emails like that. Stephanie doesn't see that stuff because, of course, I'm scheduling and getting everyone lined up for the show. But just to get those little chuckles, it's like, Girl, yeah, I'm talking to you. Boy, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
But it's funny how authors, they write their book, but they don't feel like anybody would want to hear their
Here,
story,
yes,
right? And it's like, yes, somebody wants to hear your story. You did not go through that situation or those things in your life just to sit on it, right? And
right.
so to feel that you're like nobody would want to hear your story, like I need y'all to come out of that, right? Because
Hmm.
I walked through that as an author. Literally, when I wrote my first book, I was like, I'm just writing this for myself because I got to get out of this pain
Hmm.
of going through, infertility and spending
Right,
$20,000+ on IVF treatments and to end up with a chemical pregnancy. I was infuriated with my life when
right.
I wrote that book. And I just thought, oh, I am just going to write this for myself and just be happy that I did it. And then I'm like, you know what? And then my then husband at that time, he was like, wait a minute, like this is some good stuff. I
Right.
thank him for that because he was like, you need to get this out. This is some good stuff. And I'm grateful that he encouraged me to do that. Right. By the time I published, we weren't together anymore. But what came out of that, like, and all the edits, and shout out to Claudette Freeman, who was my editor, because Jesus, like, she really ripped my first manuscript to shreds and it became what it became. Um, but, I had to realize, and she told me, girl, people need to read this. People
Yeah.
need to read this story. And that's what I say to you as authors. Like,
Hmm.
your story is not just for you. So don't just
Right.
write that book and say, oh, I'm gonna just give it to my family. Oh, I just want to write it and publish it just so I have my name on something. Oh, it's my legacy. No, write it knowing that somebody is on the other end that needs to read
Yeah.
it because your story is going to change their life. And you
Yeah.
have to write it with that in mind at all times. So I encourage you, write it with your
Yeah.
ideal reader in mind and that person that their life has to be changed by you sharing your story.
Yes. There are definitely a lot of people
Mhm.
that have some amazing stories locked up inside of them
Yeah.
and not getting it out because they're afraid, like you mentioned earlier, afraid
Yeah.
about family, afraid of what
Yeah.
even just the public eye, what they're going to say or think
Yeah.
about it. But this is not their truth. This is your truth. And you've lived it. So why not just walk through it and
Yep.
help somebody else? Because
Yes.
your writing, your story is definitely going to help someone else. So
Absolutely.
you definitely want to make sure, just as Stephanie say, just write it already. Write the book already.
Yeah. Write the book already. And
Just
don't
write
worry
the book.
about what other people say. Because I,
Exactly.
I tell everybody, when you write your story, if somebody says, well, they're upset because you might have shared this. And, I'm always big on telling y'all, change names, change certain circumstances so you don't,
Mhm.
people don't get upset. But if people get mad at you, tell them write their own book. This is your story to tell.
Exactly.
Don't tell me what I lived through when I already know what I lived through. So don't tell me that. You
Exactly.
go write your own book.
Exactly. Go write your own book. Because this
Yes.
mine and this my truth.
Thank you. Yes. Kim says sometimes we will shortchange ourselves. Absolutely.
Yes.
We do that because
Absolutely.
we just think we're not valuable enough and our
Yeah.
story is not valuable. But your story is
Absolutely.
valuable because literally God does not allow us to go through the things we go through for nothing. It is for a
Exactly.
purpose.
Yes.
So stop shortchanging yourself and
Yes.
put yourself out
Absolutely.
there. And let me stop
Yeah.
taking over this show. Go on, host. Go on, host. Go on, story time with Tammy.
How has your vision for the podcast shifted or expanded over the past years?
Um, a lot of what we do conceptually is the same, right?
Hmm.
Um, One, because I feel like this platform is specifically to share independent authors' stories. I don't want to change that,
Right.
right? That's what this platform is all about. Now, we'll do things differently.
Hmm.
You know, like this season, pre-recording. Next season we might do something else, but conceptually, the the platform has not changed. Now, how we
Yeah.
present it, because Tammy, her
Hmm.
creative self, will put some things out each time. But I would just say, going forward, I definitely want to expand
Hmm.
as far as first of all, I really want more people to subscribe. When we were on Facebook, like we had a lot of people that watched. We transitioned to YouTube. Y'all, thank you for watching, but we also need you to subscribe.
Right.
we want to be in those numbers, right? So that we can end up monetizing. We want people to sponsor this show. Like this, we need this to be something big.
Yes.
And
no, wait. It is something big.
Oh, well, it is something big. Yes.
We just need the world to see that it's something big.
Yeah. And it's not about us. It's about getting these stories out there. So there's a mass group of people who are missing this because the algorithm is not pushing us up there, because we're not having the people to subscribe in the way that we desire. We should be in the thousands by now, right? So I encourage you, like, push, share, right? If you're an author, you should be subscribed. Tell your author friends. If you love books, you should be subscribed. Like subscribe, because that's the way that we grow. So that's a big thing for me. We want to grow this platform, and we want to be able to be in a space where the numbers reflect the greatness that the show is, and these authors get the exposure that they deserve, because we have talked to some people who have the most amazing stories and books, and they should be at the level of these New York Times bestsellers, right? Yeah. I have read some books where I'm like, golly, the world needs to know about this book. And it's platforms like Storytime with Stephanie. It's platforms like this that give people exposure to a new market, so that maybe that book that was either self-published or hybrid published or whatever, vanity published, whatever you want to call it, maybe they will get the eye of a traditional publisher and get republished and get out there and become a New York Times bestseller. And you will see them on TV and being interviewed. Because I'll be honest, some of these people who are New York Times bestsellers, I've read some of those books and I'm like, what is this? This was not life-changing.
I ain't got to do anything, but yeah,
this didn't do anything to ignite my soul. But I have read some books and I have interviewed people on here where I'm like, their story should be a movie. Right. Their story should be a movie. Like, we should be seeing this stuff on not just Lifetime and Netflix, but on the big screen. Right. So we need platforms like this. And if it's not me, then we need other platforms. Right. But I'm here and I desire to see this platform grow, so that we can get these authors into places and spaces that will give them the exposure that they deserve for their stories. So I'm going to keep pushing that. Y'all keep pushing too. Tell your friends to subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you know when we go live. So you know when a new episode drops. Subscribe. Okay? And stop sitting on it and stop being like, oh, this is such a cute show. We love it. Subscribe. That's how we get in those numbers, so we can do more with the show. Absolutely. Because I would love to one day do a live where I'm physically present with these authors and we have author talk. We have a dialogue. Kim says that's why I'm anointed, truly anointed for this. I believe that. I do. I believe that. I didn't realize that until here we are 8 seasons later. This is my anointing. This is my calling, right? And so I want to be in a space where I can bring authors together and we are physically together and we're having these conversations, right? What else can we be doing? Because there's a lot of independent authors who need these platforms so that they can grow and they can receive the accolades that their stories deserve.
So true. And guess what? The best part about all of this is free.
It's free. You do not have to pay to watch the button. Okay. Thank you, Tammy. Oh my God.
Click the button, y'all. Just click the button. Share it with somebody and say, click the button. That's all you got to tell them. Click the button.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
As we're wrapping it up. And we're going to talk about, what's to come, we've talked about that, but what some of the people, the authors that we can expect to hear and see on this coming up this season. So for the person listening who has a powerful story, but feels afraid or unsure or just afraid, what encouragement would you offer them today to write the book already?
Similar to what I said earlier, that your story is not just for you. There is a person on the end of that story that literally you could change their life. So rather than thinking about it from the perspective of like, I don't want to tell this, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't think I could write this. Just remember there's somebody at the end of that who needs it. They literally been waiting. So you always hear me say, write the book the world has been waiting for you to share.
Yeah.
Because somebody in this world is waiting for your story, your particular story, right? And if you sit on it, they'll never get it, because they may never encounter you in real life, but they may come across your book somewhere, right? People literally will contact me and say, oh, I saw your book. Oh, and I see Cocoon Wings published it. And then they realize connection is all me. And I'm like, you saw my book somewhere? What? So you just never know where your book will land. Somebody in Japan bought my book.
Wow.
Who would have thought that, right? You never know where your book is going to go, because your book is all, even when you're dead and gone, your book is still going to be here. And you, from the grave, could change somebody's life. So just write the story. And everybody has a story to tell. Not everybody knows how to write it. That's why you got coaches like me.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Thank you. And how can people connect with you, your podcast, or learn more about Cocoon to Wings Publishing?
So we have 2 websites. So if you're interested in publishing, it's Cocoon to Wings Books, CocoonToWingsBooks.com. If you're interested in writing coaching, it's StephanieOutten.com. So there's 2 ways to reach us, 2 different websites. I'm on all social media. Not all. Let me say I'm on Facebook, Instagram, but TikTok, but predominantly for the writing coaching as well as for publishing, Instagram and Facebook, because we have pages on both. Instagram, I'm under Stephanie Outten Literary Doula. And then you have Cocoon Twins Publishing, okay, on both platforms. So you can find us.
Which one are you sharing?
Okay, so on Facebook, our business page is Cocoon to Wings Publishing. And on Facebook, from Stephanie Outten Literary Doula, that's my other page. And on Instagram, you just find me at Stephanie Outten, or you can find Cocoon to Wings Books. So we have multiple ways that you can reach us. You can just go on our website as well. You can click, you can schedule a consultation with us. Our consultations are not free because my time is not free. It's no longer free, right? You have to be in a, yeah, you have to be in a, and I do not charge a lot for consultations. I will tell you that. And the blessing about my consultations, the fee is that if you sign a contract with us, you get that money back. It's taken off of your package. And so I just believe in pay people for their time. And for their knowledge, because it took me years to develop the knowledge that I have. So when I impart it to you, you should be willing to invest, right? Because I make an investment in you to bring your book into the world. You can make an investment into us as well. So that part. Look, this is the opportunity for me to be honest about. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna have you interview me again. I love this.
That's fine. That's awesome. So I know for this season we have, as you mentioned, health issues. We have wellness. There's generational curses that are being broken. These are some amazing things. So y'all make sure that you all are tuning in on Mondays, 2nd and 4th.
Yeah, so we air the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month while we're in season. And so season 8 runs from August to November. Okay, so join us the 2nd and 4th Monday of each month. And we air at 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. I think we're going to be streaming into Facebook as well. So if you're on Facebook, you'll see us go live on my Stephanie Outten Literary Doula page, because we're live out there today. And let's see. So yeah, and then you'll hear us announce when season 9 is coming, because I've already been told I have to do a season 9. So we're going to be coming back for season 9. And usually the next season will air in February. So February. So for right now, join us from August to November for season 8, the second and fourth Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, that you're going to subscribe to and hit the notification bell. And you're going to tell all of your friends about it. Yep. Kim says, smash that like button and subscribe. And tell your mama now.
Tell all of them, even your uncle and your aunties. Yes. So, Stephanie, is there anything else that you would like to share before we close out?
I would like to say first, thank you to you. Because like I said, this show would not have been possible without you, because I'm not the technical person. I'm not trying to figure out all this stuff. I just want to do what I do best, right? And that's just sit there and interview the authors and talk about their story. So without you, Tammy, I would never have been able to get this show to 8 seasons. And so I am completely indebted to you and grateful. I'm grateful to everyone that has watched over these 8 seasons, that has purchased these authors' books. That is important. Just listening to their story is one thing, but purchasing their books is important. Like they need book sales. They invested to put their book out. Buy their books, right? We run their links so that you can purchase their books. So I'm grateful to every single author that has graced the Storytime with Stephanie podcast, and been honest and transparent in sharing their stories. And I'm just thankful, and I'm excited to see how we continue to grow, how we evolve. How we evolve will still keeping the show the same, and allowing Holy Spirit to just show up and do his thing like he always does. And so that's what I will share. And for those of you watching, we have the Global Lit Fest coming up, which is an author event, because every once in a while I do an author event. It is a virtual book expo. We're going to have authors from across the world that are going to be sharing about their stories, sharing their books. We'll be having panel discussions and giveaways, and just really having a fun time. And that's going to be Saturday, October the 18th. And it will be streaming on YouTube. You can go to Eventbrite, look up Global Lit Fest, and you can get your tickets, because the tickets are free. Okay. There's a Facebook event page for it as well, but go to Global Lit Fest. It's virtual. You can do it right from the comforts of your own home. But again, support these authors. That's what it's about. So, yay.
Yes, absolutely. There's one more question for you.
Do you have a program helping authors with audio versions? So yes.
Audiobooks.
Audiobooks. Yeah. So that is something that we are doing now. That wasn't a space that we were living in before, but we are now with Cocoon to Wings Books, where authors who desire to do their audiobook, we have voice actors that we're working with now. And we also know the process to actually get the book published, like on Audible and all that stuff. So yes, we do have that for authors who are interested.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been a pleasure. And so we'll be sure to y'all have her back for the next episode. Until now, I'm gonna close us out right quick. So, I mean, what a great way, an inspiring way to start season 8, right? Stephanie, again, thank you for sharing your journey with the audience, your wisdom and your heart with us today, and every day you show up, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, you still show up. And to our listeners and viewers that were here live and those that will watch on the replay, we hope that this conversation reminds you that your story matters, and that there's always a way to bring it from the page to the world. right? So just make sure, again, subscribe. That's the word for tonight. Subscribe. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that you never miss another episode this season. And because we have an incredible lineup of independent authors, as we've mentioned already, we're not sharing. You got to stay tuned for those authors that are going to be here this season, that are ready to inspire, empower, and entertain you. So, and again, I want to plug Global Lit Fest. It's October 18th, Saturday, October 18th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's free, y'all. It's free. It's complimentary. They're going to be free giveaways. Like, y'all come and show up. Show up for Stephanie. And if you know an author that's going to be participating, show up for the author, right? If you're a reader, you don't have to be an author to participate. This is for readers, for anybody that's interested in reading and or writing, to hear about the writing process. There'll be someone talking about the editing process of your books. There's going to be spoken word, poetry, all these things. You guys show up. Oh, and one of the best things of all, and again, Stephanie always kind of, get me out of my box, my comfort zone. I'm going to be hosting. I don't know what that's going to be like. It ain't going to be like this over here. But y'all come ready to have a good time. We're going to have a good time October 18th for the Global Lit Fest. Okay. We're literally having people from all over, from Jamaica, from the United States, of course, different states of, in the country. So you guys come and show up. So until next time, keep writing, keep telling your story, and remember, someone out there is waiting to read your story. And don't forget, true healing equals impact. You guys have an amazing night, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Storytime with Stephanie. If you're an independent author and you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at info@stephanieoutten.com with your name, the name of your book, and why you believe you should be a part of our show. Also, if you'd like to support our show by sponsoring an ad, you too can email us at info@stephanieoutten.com for more information. We'll see you next time.